what's up? It's GVKCollectibles, and you know what day it is, as I always do this on Monday. It's Monday, so it's Mythical Mountain Monday, meaning we got a lot of good stuff from Mythical Mountain's claim sale / auction, or whatever they want to call it. Mainly it's a claim sale. That's practically what it is. So, once again, there was always a lot of good things. Let me show you the stack. And this is actually, so, doing a change up here just because I exclusively just got comics this time around, and some other stuff. We're just going to do this all in one kind of shot. So I'm not going to say, oh, I got this at the auction, and then I got this at Mythical Mountain Monday, because I think kind of now, while it is based around Mythical Mountain, like Mythical Mountain Monday is based around stuff that I got from the auction, I also, as I always say, I get stuff continuously at the shop as well. So I'm just figuring, let's just combine it all, just because it's a pretty big stack. So this is a combination of stuff that I did get from the auction, and I did also buy in store, because there's a lot of cool stuff. So first thing I think I want to talk about is this one right here. It is Marvel Comics Group, She Devil with a Sword, Red Sonja. So this is a part of the Red Sonja run, I believe, from the 1980s. So it was relatively big in the 80s. Red Sonja, and like Kona was really big in the 80s too. And this is one of the comic books. I think they were kind of separated in the continuity. So like, even though it was in, I think it was in the Marvel main continuity, because like Red Sonja did have stories with other characters. Like she had stories with Wolverine, and like one of her last stories before she left I think it may have been the creator of Red Sonja, or they sold the rights to Red Sonja to Dynamite. She had a crossover with Spider-Man, so she had her own little stories, and I have a few of these older Red Sonja comics, which I really love. The older ones that I have, I think, are from a little older. They're, I think, from the 70s, or probably 70s, which look really good, really wonderful, fantastic. Really cool art, too. It's that kind of old 80s art that I really like, and it's really well done. There's a skeleton with a sword, which looks really cool, really crazy. This next one right up here, this one's actually cool. So I have no idea, because it's a new Suicide Squad, but instead of it, I didn't get it because of the sword, I got it because of this cool cover. It is a Batman v Superman variant. So this is back, 2016 it probably had to be, because I think it was either 2016 or 2017 that, No, I think it was 2016 that Batman v Superman came out, and DC, along with all their other titles, they put out variants for these particular book. They put out variants for Batman v Superman. This one's pretty cool. The Bat Armor, which is it's kind of like a cool mixture between the Dark Knight Returns one and the one from the movie. But I really love the design of the Bat Armor, particularly in Batman v Superman. I think it's my favorite version of the design. I think it's really cool, really unique. I mean, it looks cool. Batman v Superman, say what you will about it, I relatively enjoyed it. There's a few things that take out of me that I would do different. Mainly having not Superman or Batman kill people. That's just me, because they don't really need to kill people. Although at this point I've kind of reserved myself where, like, movie adaptations of Batman are gonna kill. Michael Keaton, who's probably one of my favorite Batmans, in live action, he's killed, like, people indirectly so. But this is a really cool shot from New Suicide Squad. I know nothing about New Suicide Squad other than, like, I think it was like a separate team book, if I'm thinking, if it's right, because this is before DC Rebirth. So yeah, I think this was popped out of Convergence. This was the post-Convergence series. This one's pretty cool, and this one I kind of regret not getting it. Like, when I got the original series, it is Batgirl 52 from the New 50. This is the end of the Cameron Fletcher and Babtar's run. Babtar mainly got me into, she's really the one who got me into superhero comics with, like, Batman, her run on, her art on Batgirl. But this is really cool, because it is essentially, it's an homage cover to the first issue of the Batgirl series from the 52, with that one had Gail Simone on it. So, and it's really cool. Once again, I really love Babtar's art. Really great artist. I wish she would do, it makes sense of why because with a lot of independent artists who don't necessarily work within this the big two system, like, or whatever it is, it's kind of like hard. And but like but she's doing like other stuff, which is really, really cool. She's a really, really cool artist. I suggest you, if you guys like this kind of style of art, I definitely suggest check Bob Baptar's art stuff out, like on Twitter, and she has a Patreon too, so if you want to support her through there, you can. This one's really cool too. I think I may have this one. I am not completely sure, but I'll have to double check. It is this cool, very, very cool Vampirella #1 from Gabriel Rodriguez, and it's really, really cool. A really, really, really cool kind of gothic kind of cover. Like, I love the Vampirella covers. They're always really, really cool, really well done. I think Dynamite always does a fantastic job with getting like really, really cool, really notable artists doing really cool covers for these books. I think it's really, really well done. That's really cool. And you can see the skeleton, like the kind of skeleton Grim Reaper in the background, which looks really, really creepy and cool. Here's this next one. I think this one's been in there for a while. This is a J. Scott Campbell. I know people are kind of mixed on J. Scott Campbell. I personally like him with some of his stuff. I think like when he does, but it's a Black Cat variant from Black Cat #1. I don't know which this is. It usually says what year it is, so I don't know the year of this, but it is a pretty cool variant. J. Scott Campbell, I think, does a really, really good job. I think he does really cool when he's doing stuff like not necessarily within the like kind of like the ladies, even though he's kind of known for doing the ladies. I think he does, like he drew awesome Batman for Batman 1020 Detective Comics 1027. He's done some Spawn covers too, which look really, really good, really great. Like, I really love him when he's doing Spawn. I actually had a Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen #1 from Midtown Comics that was an exclusive, but like, I sold that. But I really love J. Scott Campbell's art. It's really, really cool. I mean, especially this. Like, this is when it's really, really good. It's really, really good. I really love that cover of Black Cat, which I think is really, really great. So this next one is actually pretty fun. This was like a month of monster movie, monster variants for DC. This is back, I think, probably post-Convergence, if I'm thinking right, and it's Robin, Son of Batman. And I heard that this series was really, really good, too, because it followed Damian and his adventures, but it's Damian like a Damian monster fighting this kind of skeleton one, and it reminds me of like kaijus and monster movies. This is one of the main reasons I picked it up, because it looked really, really good. One of my favorites is the Action Comics one, where it's It Came from Krypton. It's clearly a tribute to It Came from Outer Space, which I think is really, really cool and real, like, wonderful. It's one of my favorite variants I think they've done. So let's get into some more stuff. Here is this one. It's pretty cool. From The Godfather, I think. Hold on. Okay, I can't tell because of the art, but I'm not sure. But it's X-Force number 15, and it's got Deadpool fighting Cable, and I think this is like a little after Deadpool's debut. So this is the X-Force title, which, like, at that point, this was before really Deadpool kind of came into his own as the fourth wall joke cracking guy that we're aware, like, we know of. He was just very much a straight up copy of Deathstroke. I mean, and even his name is Wade Wilson, which is a play on Slade Wilson, Slade Wilson, which is just a play on Deathstroke's main name, which is really, really funny. But yeah, I don't even think there's been, like, I don't even think even when in the 80s, well, this is 90s actually, 90s, when they were doing crossovers, I don't think they had Deadpool or Deathstroke fight at all, which is kind of crazy, although, like, the 90s were a weird point in comics for both the big two, because, like, they were just trying to find their stride of what they wanted to do with the comics. And also, like, Marvel was hitting bankruptcy around, not this time, but, like, late 90s. Was hitting their, like, bankrupt. They were going into bankruptcy, so, which is luckily not the case anymore. It's kind of hard to believe that even Marvel now, like, to think of how big Marvel has become, that they would have, like, gone into bankruptcy back in the day, which is kind of crazy to me, but I get it at the same time. next one is really, really cool. So this is actually called Robin Rises. This is actually from the New 52. This is written by Tomasi, and it has Cooper, I think Randy. It's a one-shot. And this is a cool one because apparently it's about Darkseid stealing Damian's body. So this is a little after Damian gets killed. I think it's like within Grant Morrison's run. But like it kind of got folded into the New 52 because like right as that was being written, the New 52 happened. But it's pretty cool because after this, like, I think this is ultimately, I don't know if it's the same book, but let me actually check because I think this is actually the book that has the Hellbat armor in it, which is this really, really cool looking armor. Yeah. Because I think it's after a certain event, but like, yeah, this has, this is when Damian comes back into, which is really, really cool, because you get this really cool, wonderful shot. It's really, really cool. I know this story definitely made me really like Damian a lot. He had a really cool, because he actually, when he came back to life, he had superpowers for a little bit, and he, which was really fun. Like, Damian's kind of, like, he's grown on me. I really like him in the Harley Quinn show, just because they act him as a kid, which is really funny. But like he's come into his own, like, and he's getting, I think he's getting a solo book that's gonna explore him becoming his own identity, which a lot of the Robins do eventually. Like they've all done that essentially. Well, with that being said, the camera's about to cut out. Not to say that I was gonna end the video there, but the camera's about to cut out, so I will be right back real quick. Okay, and as I said, I am back again. So that was Robin Alpha Rising. I think that's the end of the event. I don't know what book Tomasi. I think it was a part of the Batman and Robin title at the time during the New 52. But this one's pretty cool. So this one is Punisher Batman. Now there's two books. So there's Batman Punisher, which this one is, I think, the first one, and it has Bruce Wayne clearly and Frank Castle. The second one has Azrael, aka John Paul Valley, as Batman, because that was going on at the time. But it's really, really cool. It's a I think it's a Romita Junior. Yep, it's a Romita Junior Senior cover. You got Joker and Scarface. Scarface being one of Frank's enemies. I call him Frank. But yeah, I've heard fun things about this book. It's a really, really fun book. Apparently the Azrael one sucks, but you know, it's all good fun. Like, and like the art's really, really good too. Like. He also has that classic kind of Batman costume, the oval with the bat on it, instead of like the more like traditional black, like the one that Batman has now, which is essentially just the bat logo, which is really, really cool either way. But yeah, looks really, really cool. I just love Joker right there. He's like, oh crap. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll try to get a close up of it. But he's like, oh crap, Batman and Punisher are fighting. Oh my god, that was really corny, but whatever. Like, just his reaction is just great. It's like the one guy, it's just, there's some, like, on covers, you just see those one people, like some of the background characters just, like, going freaking out, like Detective Action Comp, like the first appearance of Superman, there's a guy going like that, and it's just very, very funny to me. And it's, like, iconic in its own weird way. So this one is pretty cool. So this is Freak Show, and it is written by Freak Show Princess, which is like a zombie story, and it's written by I think Justin Hendricks, who actually the other day at Mythical Mountain. Here, I'm gonna be careful with it because I don't want to smudge the. But it's really, really cool. Yep, Jonathan Hendrick, and he's actually wrote this book, which it's like this kind of zombie story, which look, I'm actually really excited. I'm actually going to read it. But he did sign it because he did have a, he had a little signing at Mythical Mountain, I think, that Saturday, if I'm correctly. But like, really, really cool, really well, like, really, really unique. I always try to find like really cool, I think he's actually a local guy too, like he's a Jacksonville artist. I will put the links in the, like I will, correct myself as always in this because I just want to make sure the information's right. But yeah, it's really, really cool. It's a zombie story, so I'm very interested. I always try to look out for kind of like trying to get into more independent kind of stuff, get away from the big two, mainly DC and Marvel, like try to go a lot more Image, a lot more Boom, IDW, kind of like stuff that isn't within the big two realm of the big two. But this is really, really beautiful, I think, and really, well done. The art's really, really amazing. So I'm gonna read that one definitely. So actually, let me take these two out of order real quick because they kind of, oh no, they're like in the same storyline. So I got two of these. So it is the West Coast Avengers number 42 and number 47. Oh my god, sorry. And this is, so this is timely for, spoiler alert for WandaVision. I'm just going to say flat out spoilers, just because if you don't want to hear anything, skip past when I put down these comics essentially, is when I'll stop talking about comics. But this is the introduction of Reset Vision, aka White Vision, who we got to see at the end credits of the latest episode of WandaVision, which was freaking crazy. Like, that episode was so amazing. I, like, couldn't stop freaking out during the whole episode, because it's like, there's stuff heavily implied that, like, Wanda has all, because it's like kind of when you watch Age of Ultron, and even the post-credit scene for Captain America Winter Soldier, you think, like, oh, she got her powers through the Mind Stone, through Loki's scepter. No, it's kind of like a retcon, not retcon, it's a cool retcon, I think, of where, no, she's always had these powers, it's just the Mind Stone really helped her amplify her powers of where she is, and there's a lot of cool revelations. Also, the main one being White Vision, aka Swords, I guess Sword Vision, if you want to say it, is just essentially just reset. So he is not going to be the Vision that we all know. He's not going to be the WandaVision. So there's like 4 Visions right now. There's WandaVision, which is the one within the Hex. There's Vision that we know, who is dead because of Thanos. And also White Vision, which is very interesting. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that season finale goes. I'm very, very excited for it. I think literally this show is like the one where I was like, I'm kind of interested. Then it's like they're doing the full magic thing, which I really love. Like, I love magic. I love, not necessarily within the Marvel comics, I love Hellblazer, so John deals with magic, and I also love dealing with, like, I want to get into Doctor Strange comics, because it's just, I think there's, like, magic is super, super cool. And Scarlet Witch is really, really cool, so I think this series is going to be very, very interesting. They actually had the first appearance, like the cover, which was an homage to Vision's first appearance, and they had bids up for that, and I think it went up quite a bit. I don't know how much. I think it was like $100, I think somebody got first appearance of White Vision, or Reset Vision, if you want to say. But yeah, very, very excited. I'm glad to have these just to collect, because, you know, stuff, they make spec. We know that one book, the first appearance of White Vision, definitely spec. Like, it's crazy how much it did. So this next one's really, really cool. It's just this really cool, I think it is a Dark Knight 3's The Master Race. It's this cool variant cover with Carrie Kelly and Batman, which is really, really cool. It's kind of like an homage almost to Dark Knight Returns art. But like, it looks really, really cool. The colors look really, really amazing on it. The art is really, really clean, I think, on this. It's really, really well done. Really amazing. And I wasn't really, this series in particular, I was like not sure of completely, but apparently, like, I watched Comic Pop do back issues on it. It's like, it wasn't as crazy as Dark Knight 2, Dark Knight Strikes Again, which is kind of crazy. But this looks really, really cool, really well done. I love, like, the variant art. Like, I love these artists. I will put the artist who did that in the description, but I'll put him in the video right here, just to say. This one's really, really cool. So it is Black Panther, number 13, and this is really, really cool. And the thing that I love that they've been doing, Marvel recently, DC has been kind of slowly doing this with all their comics. They've been retitling them with their proper number, so, like, of what they were before the New 52. Detective Comics and Action Comics were the first ones to do this, but then slowly, I think, like, Superman's done it, Flash has done it, I think, and Wonder Woman has done it. Now we're just waiting. I think Batman's going to probably be the next one. So, but yeah, this is really cool. It's really cool. A really, really cool variant of T'Challa on a Panther statue, which looks really, really cool. Really well done with the cityscape in the background, which looks really, really pretty and really well done, I think. Looks really, really pretty. So this one is super interesting. I have no idea what this is about. It is, he's young, he's a Terminated, he's Mort, the dead teenager. Now, this is a 1 of 4 issue. I don't know what this is. So, this is from the 80s, well, not 90s, not kind of shocking at all, but it looks kind of like a throwback to, like, kind of like crazy horror comics, almost, in a sense. If that makes sense, like something like you would see from EC horror comics, like from Tales of the Crypt or the Vault of Horror, that kind of thing. But it looks really cool. You got a lot of cool detail, like it's really fun, like a really cool, kind of unique drawing. It kind of reminds me, the art style particularly reminds me of like kind of Archie comics, if that makes any sense. That could just be me, but it looks very interesting. It's got the kind of 90s Marvel logo too, which I actually love this logo. That's actually probably, I think other than the Marvel comics group, this is probably my favorite logo, just because I remember having shirts with this logo on it, and it's really crazy. It looks crazy looking, so I don't know what it's about. If I can find the other books in this series, I'll definitely collect it. And here we have the man himself, the moon posting Moon Knight, aka Mark Specter Moon Knight, with chainsaw. It's who he is and what he does. This is a pretty cool cover because you get Moon Knight within the blade, kind of the blade of the chainsaw. And this dude looks like Leatherface almost. It's like Moon Knight fighting Leatherface. It looks really cool. This is once again from, I believe, judging from the logo, I'm gonna guess this is 90s. This is clearly within the 90s series, so it looks really cool, really well done. Like, I love how Moon Knight is drawn though too, because he looks really cool. Like, I love how Moon Knight is drawn. I wish I would get more into Moon Knight because I know a lot of, I think it was Jeff Lemire who did a run that was post Secret Wars, so Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, that was like really good, really well done. So with that, we're almost done here. So you know what, the camera might cut out again just because I don't think I'll get through all these. So I will be one last cut, and then we'll be right back. Here's what's up. So with the last few, this is gonna be just the last few comics, which is really just short. And kind of like, there's actually some magazines in here mixed up, because you'll figure out what magazines they are. But this one's really cool. I wasn't too sure about this one at first, but then I ultimately decided to, I'm like, you know what, I'll get it. So it is The Collector's Guide to Monster Magazines by Bob Mixelucci, if I'm pronouncing that right, with an interaction with Forrest J. Ackerman. This is really cool. So what this is essentially, let's see what this came out. I just want to make sure. Copyright 1977. So this came out in 1977, which looks like, in all honesty, this looks really good for a book that came out in 1977. That's when the copyright day is. I don't know if that's the exact date, but it's really cool because you get a kind of like forward about monster magazines. Like, as you guys know, I've been slowly collecting like the monster, like the famous monster movie magazines, eerie magazines, creepy, just because I really love that kind of style. And it's also Warren magazines, and we'll get into, because we actually have a few Warren magazines. We got 2 in the coming up ones. But it's really cool because it's essentially for the time right now, because I don't know how long some of these ones went, but it was basically to say, hey, if you are a collector of these books, you can find them. So here's like the famous Monsters of Filmland, which is the one that I primarily like to get. Like, it's really iconic, and it shows you all the different variants and magazines, like all the different ones. So like issue number 1. So like right now from 1970 at least, 1977 standards, this has probably gone up, but famous Monsters of Filmland, I should say. Famous Monsters of Filmland, there we go. Number 1 goes for $150. That's probably gone up since, to be completely honest, but you get to see the prices of these. Like, let's see. Let me try to find a few that I have. Oh, that Gorgo one looks... So I have this model one. This is $750. But once again, these are like... Because I think there's one on here that actually... Because I have the Japanese... what's it called? All of Japan's Monsters, which is a really going for $5, but it is actually going for a lot more. I got that at Mythical Mountain for quite a bit. And they also got the King Kong variant too, King Kong 108, which has, like, I don't know if you can see, that guy right there next to the regular King Kong. I actually, NECA did the paint version of that, and they actually did the paint apps are actually matching of the magazine cover, which is really, really good. We'll do a review, I think I'll do a review of that one. It'll be like a shorter one, because it is the exact same figure as the King Kong one that came out last year, but it has some really, really cool paint apps on them. But you also get, like, other than famous monsters of famous monsters of Filmland. I can't say that. And it's like, it's kind of cool because you get, like, kind of info on these, and you get, like, really, really cool, like, backgrounds of these films, like, because you got, like, these, like, you got Shriek. And there's a lot of them that only lasted for a bit. Fantastic Monsters of Film, which it's just really, really cool. And you get this, the back cover is really cool because you just get a variant of, like, magazines that came out during the day. And it's weird, so since this came out in 1977, this is like this is right as, because they have issues in here talking about Star Wars, so, which is really, really cool. Yeah, it's really wonderful. Like, it's really, really cool. Really well done. I'm really glad that I picked this up. I think it's really, really cool. So, with the next one, we have roughly around 3 more books. This one's really, really cool. It's Famous Monsters of Filmland, number 120 from October 1975. Has the Gill Man on the front, and it talks about, like, never before seen pictures of The Exorcist, super summer issue, which is kind of weird because this is in October. The Incredible Melting Man and The Devil's Reign, so they're going to be talking about The Devil's Reign and The Incredible Melting Man. Famous Monsters Con Costume Parade. Oh, cool. But yeah, these are really, really cool. Really wonderful shot of the Gill Man, I think. This is really, really cool. I love these magazines, the Warren magazines from back in the day. They look really, really cool, really fantastic, and yeah, there's not much more I could say about them. I think they look very cool. I can't imagine how much a monster, a number 1 of this series of magazines goes for. Probably way too much. So, but for the second to last book, got really, really cool. It's the Worlds of Horror, and it's got probably one of my favorite underappreciated horror villains in the genre in general. It is Angus Scrimm as the Tall Man, which is really, really cool shot of him holding the silver ball. Phantasm is a fantastic movie done by Don Coscarelli. Probably one of my favorite, personally one of my favorite horror movies. I remember remembering the Tall Man. I was like, kind of like, this was a point where I was still into Freddy and Jason. Still am to this day. Like, that's the thing. But I was like, that was really my first introduction to horror, and I was always wondering, who the heck is the Tall Man? Then watching Phantasm, it's just absolutely like a really, really great, wonderful book. But you get, it has in-depth interviews with Angus Scrimm and Michael T. Gilbert, plus news and reviews, which is always really, really cool. World of Horror. This is issue number 1 from 1989, which is crazy. So this is, so that may be Angus Scrimm from Phantasm 2. Because that had came out, I think, in '87. Because each of the Phantasm films had a really large gap between them. Oh, then you get this really, really cool, really wonderful shot of production still of Angus Scrimm as the Tall Man on the back too, which is really, really. Yep, it looks like they talk about. Yep, talk about Phantasm 2. And he was also in The Lost Empire. Yeah. Really, really cool. Yeah, I actually need to read this because it has an interview with Angus Scrimm himself, which apparently, like, when he, very sad that the man he passed away, but, like, of what I hear from, like, everybody who's met Angus Scrimm, he was one of the nicest, like, even though he played one of the scariest villains, he was one of the nicest men in the world, which is a lot of times the case. Like Gunnar Hansen, who played Leatherface in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre apparently was one of, if not the nicest, like, very, very nice dude. There's actually, Good Bad Flicks actually put out a video called Exploring Mosquito. It actually stars Gunnar Hansen, and he talks a little bit about the legend himself, because he came out right as he, a little after he passed away, so, but he is a really, really, like, of what I heard, just a phenomenal person and a nice, wonderful human being. So, with the last magazine, this is actually a first for me. It is a Warren magazine, but not just any Warren magazine. It is a Vampirella magazine. This is Vampirella number 18 from August 1972, which is crazy to think of. The cold touch of the conjuress awaits Vampirella when she discovers Dracula lives. So, this, like, I don't own a Vampirella magazine. I don't own, like, any of the... Like, if I had the opportunity to have Vampirella number 1 graded, I would definitely pick it up. Like, no ifs or buts about it. But, like, once again, it's that wonderful kind of 70s art. I think this was before the magazine eventually went to color, because later they would go into color. But, like, it's really, really cool. Really well done. Like, it's really that kind of gothic kind of style of 70s horror illustrations to... Illustrated Tales to Bewitch and Bedevil You Vampirella, which is really, really cool. So it's a little after her debut in 1969, which is really, really good. Like, really, it's a really beautiful looking cover. So, with that being said, that is it. That is Mythical Mountain Monday, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you thought a lot of this stuff was cool. I personally think a lot of the, like, the horror, like, the older comics are really cool. I love older comics. And I also love the older kind of horror magazines, because I love to see how horror film fans got their kind of knowledge on monster movies and horror films before the internet. So, with that being said, I hope you hit like, and make sure to hit like and hit subscribe, and hit the little bell notification so you get notified when we upload videos like Mythical Mountain Mondays, What's in the Box Wednesdays, Figure Review Friday. I almost forgot. I almost blanked my space. But also check us out on Instagram. GVKCollectibles. You'll get to see close-ups of pretty much everything seen in Mythical Mountain Monday. Also, check out my brother Jack's Pot Guy. Puts out some really, really cool, has a lot of cool stuff. As I said, I think in the last video, he got a Flocked Wolfman, which looks awesome. I've seen it in person. Looks really, really cool, really awesome. Also check us out on Mercari. We are selling a lot of stuff. A lot of great, cool stuff from both of us. And yeah, I think that's it. I also put down Jonathan, the writer for this, because he is in the description below, because he's really, really, it's really, really beautiful, really well done. I definitely suggest check out his stuff. It's really, really pretty and really cool. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and be safe, and peace.